and welcome to A Comic a Day. Moving back to my regular format from last month, we've got a cracking good time ahead with Suggestions Month. Or rather, considering the two major suggestions are Image comics, maybe it'll be more Image Then and Now. Actually, I'll probably go with that. However, first this month, we've got a requested review from our patron, Azafe. If you want to request a review, be it a one-shot, a run, or an entire month, as well as choosing a comic for ComicSins, become a member of the Comic Archivist Patreon. That would be patreon.com/ComicSins. Link is in the description. As always, massive spoilers are massive for the WWE Then, Now, Forever one-shot. You've been warned. We open in Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indiana on Monday Night Raw, June 2nd, 2014. A date that will live in infamy. Well, at least as a legitimate turn that was pretty rad to see play out. And we hear Seth Rollins' internal monologue about how his teammates, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, the three members of the pretty awesome Shield stable, I don't care what the Roman haters say in hindsight, trusted him as he holds onto his steel chair as they look on into the audience. But we cut to the previous week where all three of them are on top of the Raw production trailer, or at least a trailer with Raw slapped on the side, having a barbecue, with Dean Ambrose grilling some steaks. But Seth forgot the potato salad, and this pisses Dean off, so he kicks the grill over and leaves. Seth is then being snide about being sick of Dean's attitude, and Roman, in a truly Roman fashion, is sort of blasé about the whole thing. However, Seth receives a phone call, so he goes off to answer it. So Roman's all alone on the back of this rig when it fires up and starts rolling forward. It crashes into the Wyatt family Jeep because they're backwoods redneck, and everyone knows backwood rednecks love Jeeps. I don't know. But Dean Ambrose is now driving the rig and Roman climbs in. Dean's all ready for a potato salad run. They're also both wondering what's been up with Seth. So that night on SmackDown, Roman and Dean lay the smack down on the Wyatt family, but Seth Rollins is nowhere to be found in their corner. The Wyatts, however, pick up the win due to the numbers game, something that the Shield always used to have. So after the match, Roman and Dean are looking for Seth throughout the arena, and they find him pulling out from the parking structure. They hop into someone's red lift kit truck and follows, but the Wyatt family also follows in their green Jeep. Seth arrives at a snooty yacht with a fun comment from one of the Blue Bloods asking why Seth's hair looks so wet. Roman and Dean confront Seth, but while their talk gets heated, suddenly the Wyatt-mobile bursts through the side of the building. Seth throws Dean out of the way and takes a full bump from the car. The Wyatts come out and then start beating up Dean and Roman, but when Seth recovers, all three of them come back and kick the Wyatts' butt until they run away. Dean says that he's sorry for doubting Seth, but he's just been weird lately, and then Dean and Roman leave. Yet an applauding Triple H comes and he and Seth goes onto his yacht to talk. Cut back to June 4th on Raw, and the Shield enter through the crowd, and Seth does what's best for business and beats his brothers down. But wait, this one-shot has a second story attached, so don't you dare be sour! Put your hands together for the world-famous longest-reigning former tag team champions and feel the power! It's a new day, yes it is! Sorry, I've always wanted to do that professionally. So we get the epic tale of the New Day giving out merit badges because they're camp counselors. They just roll with it. Until Kane, Bray Wyatt, and Alonda Blaze, well, there's a reference for the kids at home, come into, well, dare be sour and break the power of positivity. However, Xavier Woods, PhD, has built a time machine, a DeLorean if you will, out of an old fridge box. Because, and this is the most booty statement ever, the pessimism of WWE's past is what's poisoning the present. Okay, that explains Alonda Blaze. So they load up into the cardboard box to go back. Long before Steve Austin and the Attitude Era, way before Snook ever splashed off the top of a cage, they roll back the clock to the dawn of wrestling time, where it's Ric Flair versus a very Lesnar-looking T-Rex. It's funny because Ric Flair is older than the Dirty Sleepson, and while the New Day storyline is to be continued later, we have one more story to go. Then, young Mercedes Casner-Venado watches Eddie Guerrero frog splash on TV. She wants to grow up and be a wrestler. Now, under the ring name of Sasha Banks, she wins the WWE Women's Championship. And in the crowd, a young girl watches, wanting to be a wrestler someday. Forever. There's also some one-page comics in this, though they were SDCC exclusive, but they're drawn awesome with memorable catchphrases about people like Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold, Dusty Rhodes, and so many more. It's actually awesome like that. Yes, I know this was a long one, but hey, being a $5 patron allows you to pick a one-shot for me to do, and as if A wanted something wrestling related. I'm actually honestly glad she did pick this though. I've been curious about the Boom Studios comics for a while, and the Dennis Hopeless written S.H.I.E.L.D. story at the beginning, and I think the New Day story arc are continued in the new ongoing, that I may do a first issues on, just to see how it goes. So now for the reviewy bits. Let's start at the top. The S.H.I.E.L.D. story is the best reflection of the Boom Studios ongoing, and I actually thought it was really nifty to see Hopeless expand out on the shattering of the S.H.I.E.L.D., with a tale focusing around Seth Rollins acting weird, with Dean and Roman trying to figure things out. Granted, it's one of my favorite Raw moments of the past couple years, so I could be a bit biased on this backstory given to it. Plus, the art is pretty good, though the quick angular look isn't going to be for everyone. Like I know since I showed as a fan, she was iffy on it. Then there's the New Day bombastic story, which is pretty much what you'd want a New Day comic to be. Overly colorful and cartoony, with the ludicrous knobs cranked all the way up to 11. The comedy is pretty hit or miss depending on who you are, but the jovial nature of the book, plus a fun, loose art style, really makes it a pretty booty read. Booty means good, right? I don't know, I'm an ass man, so booty tends to mean good. However, my personal favorite part of this, which is also the shortest, is the Sasha Banks then, now, future bit. The reason it's my favorite is that ultimately, it's how modern wrestling fans, really fans as a whole, are made. We get plopped in front of their work, be it on TV, on stage, or in books, and that's what inspires us to really become the next Eddie Guerrero, or Spielberg, or Sondheim, or Chris Jericho. It's a fantastic representation that, while I really enjoy the rest of this book, including the Tugboat Quickie after this was just quintessential and on point. It was a legit boss short comic about a legit boss. Plus, the art for it actually really reminds me of Jerry Lawler's canvas work, so there's a plus. It's awesome, and honestly, these 4 or 5 pages are worth the price of admittance alone. So overall, if you're a fan, this is awesome. If you've never even watched an episode of Wrestling a Day in your life, it's still worth the read. But then again, I don't give verdicts on this channel, but by God, it's worth the buy. If you'd like me to cover a comic on a Comic a Day, or a legitimate review for my main channel, or even cover something on ComicSins, become a patron today. Plus, there's some exclusives like unedited videos, my bi-weekly Q&A, which is wrestling themed this time around. And tomorrow I begin the main bulk of the comics for this month, Savage Dragon and Invincible. Come back tomorrow for Image, Then and Now.